Guys, welcome to this YouTube channel. A good day to everyone watching this video. In this video, I am mainly going to discuss the previous year's answer key for GATE Excel Zoology paper of 2024. So let's get started. So the first question, which one of the following statements about gene expression is incorrect? So you should be very careful. They ask for the incorrect one. So here the first option is DNA is transcribed into mRNA. This is correct. mRNA can be reverse transcribed to DNA. Yes, that is correct because that's like the challenge to the central dogma of molecular biology. mRNA can be translated to protein. That is also perfectly correct. Protein can be reverse translated to mRNA. This is incorrect. So the correct answer here is option D. This is a very simple question if you know basic molecular biology. Moving on to the next question. Which one of the following tissues or organs is least likely to experience graft rejection when transplanted from a person to an unrelated person? Of course, bone marrow will definitely need to be matched by HLA matching. So if there is any serious match mistakes, then it leads to graft rejection. Cornea, however, is the correct answer because it is the immunoprivileged sites. So, cornea transplantation from one person to a completely unrated person is least likely to suffer graft rejection. However, heart and kidney also needs proper HLA matching. So, the correct answer here is cornea. Moving on to the next question. Codon bias is correlated with the relative frequencies of which one of the following types of RNA? Of course, the correct answer is tRNA. The tRNA are the ones which carry the amino acid when mRNA is translated into proteins, and these tRNAs have these anticodon loops, and especially the wobble position mainly determines the codon bias that is involved, and also the relative frequencies with which each codon will actually code for a given amino acid, even though one amino acid has more than one codon coding for it. So the correct answer here is tRNA. Moving on to the next question. So CREB1 is a eukaryotic transcription factor in which one of the following compartments of the cell is CREB1 predominantly localized. So clearly they say it's a transcription factor. So most of the transcription factors are in the nucleus. Even if you don't know what CREB1 is, of course you can definitely make a very good educated case here by saying since it's a transcription factor, it is most likely to be in the nucleus. So the correct answer here is option C, which is nucleus. Moving on to the next question. In certain species of salamanders, male-female pairs have multiple mating partners in a breeding season. Which one of the following terminologies accurately describes this mating system? So the correct answer here is polygynandry. So here it means that both the male and the females will have multiple partners. So the correct answer here is polygynandry. So these are certain terms that I would request all my viewers to know, especially before the GATE exam, because these can be learned from the diversity chapters in any zoology textbook. So if you can remember these things, then these easy terminology related questions are pretty easy to solve. Moving on to the next question. So, which one of the following statements describes the key function of the human sweat glands? This is a very basic biology question any high school student should be able to answer. The correct answer here is they regulate body temperature. That is option C. Yes. Moving on to the next question. Urease enzyme catalyzes the conversion of urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide. Which one of the following organism expresses urease enzyme? So here the correct answer here is Helicobacter pylori. So this is also responsible for causing gastric ulcer. So this particular bacteria expresses urease enzyme that is responsible for converting urea into ammonia and carbon dioxide. So it is also responsible for gastric ulcers. Moving on to the next question. The human genetic code is a triplet in nature with 64 codons made using 4 nucleotides. So you have 4 nucleotides. Let's NTS is short for nucleotides, and you have A, T, G, C. Okay. So if the human genetic code was doublet in nature instead of triplet, in nature, the number of codons theoretically possible for four nucleotides is what? So here you now have only doublets. So in that case, it's going to be 4 into 4 because you have four possibilities here and another four possibilities here. So that's going to be 16. So the correct answer here is for the integer is 16. This is a very simple question if you know how the triplet, how 64 codons were actually derived. Moving on to the next question. Which one of the following statements is not true of glycosaminoglycans? So the first statement is glycosaminoglycans are composed of repeating disaccharide units. So this is correct. Um, Glycosaminoglycans consist of amino sugars that are frequently sulfated. This is also correct. Hyaluronic acid is an example of glycosaminoglycan. Yes, this is also correct. It is also used as a medication for wear and tear in joints. Methionine is the predominant amino acid to which glycosaminoglycan chains are conjugated to form proteoglycans. This is not correct. So it's usually to the core of the protein and not just to methionine. So the correct answer here is option D because that is not true for glycosaminoglycans. Moving on to the next question. So here, which one of the following options correctly matches the human tissues or organs with their embryonic germ layers of origin? So I have seen these type of questions being continuously repeated in many GATE papers and even other biology competitive exam papers. So I would request all the examinees to, frequently revise these chapters so that it's really helpful. So the correct answer here is for liver, it is 2, that is, it's from the endoderm. Since it's like highly an internal organ, usually it's from the endoderm. The cerebellum is from the ectoderm, and the femur is from the mesoderm. So the correct answer here is option A, that is P2, Q1, and R3. Okay, moving on to the next question. So consider a large population of a finch species where both small and big beaks are advantageous and intermediate beak size is maladaptive. Over a period of 10 years, which one of the following evolutionary processes is most likely to operate on the beak size of this finch population? So the correct answer here is disruptive selection. Since the small and the big beaks are advantageous and confers, a survival advantage, and the intermediate beak is also maladaptive, so clearly the intermediate beak would be lost if there is no strong selection on this, and that again leads to speciation. But otherwise, this intermediate beak would be lost, and the small and the big beaks would be mostly selected and propagated. So this will be a clear example of disruptive selection. Moving on to the next question. So here, when the blood glucose level of a healthy person is 100 milligram per deciliter, which one of the following options is most likely to represent the level of glucose in the urine of that person? So here, as you can see, this is like, a basic biology question, or I would say a biochemistry question. 100 milligram per deciliter is actually for a healthy person. So when they already mentioned that this is going to be for the healthy person, the amount of glucose that is going to be excreted in the urine is going to be very less, or it's almost going to be nil. So in that case, the correct answer here is option A, which is less than 1 milligram per deciliter. So since the random blood glucose level is really healthy, the amount of glucose that's going to be excreted in the urine is going to be very less because, yeah, the kidney is going to reabsorb them. So the correct answer here is less than 1 milligram per deciliter. So pretty easy question. Moving on to the next question. So here, which one of the following rooted tree topologies best describe the primate phylogeny? So again, here you need to remember quite a lot of stuff. So like you need to remember like how the different evolutionary ancestors are ultimately linked to us, that is the Homo sapiens. So the correct answer here is option C, that is basically the third one, the third phylogenetic tree. So I request everybody here watching this video to remember these fact-based questions because these are kind of repeated, and especially in the zoology section of the GATE Excel paper. So it'll be easy for you to score if you get any other tough questions. Anyways, moving on to the next question. So consider a species of brightly colored beetle. Which one or more of the following observations suggest that this species is aposematic? So here, the correct answer here is option A and D. So first of all, brightly colored beetles, and if it's aposematic, usually it's toxic and distasteful. Like we have seen that usually the brightly colored animals can be really toxic. They might have these poisonous chemicals, so we should be really careful when accidentally touched or ingested. And similarly, since they are aposematic, both the male and the female beetles are likely to be brightly colored. So the correct answer here is option A and D. Moving on to the next question. So the embryos of which one or more of the following animals show meroblastic cleavage? So this is a multi-select question. So here the correct answer is option A and D, that is zebrafish and the chicken, that is Gallus gallus and Tenio revio. So these two organisms show meroblastic cleavage. Since this is just discussing the answer key for the zoology paper, I'm not going too much into details of what these cleavage pattern means, but I request everybody here watching this video to look at the different cleavage patterns, especially in the developmental stages of different model organisms and other common organisms, so that you get an idea of what type of questions can be asked based on this. Moving on to the next question. So here, which one or more of the following parasites is or are typically transmitted by mosquitoes as a vector? This is a pretty simple question. I mean, I have even seen this in 12th standard NCERT biology textbook. So the correct answer is Plasmodium vivax, which is transmitted by Anopheles mosquito, and Wuchereria bancrofti, which is transmitted by the Culex mosquito. So the correct answer is option B and C. Moving on to the next question. So here, consider the following nucleotide sequence. So they've given here 5' to 3', a big sequence, an mRNA this is, yes, an mRNA sequence. Assume canonical initiation, canonical termination, no post-translational modification, and the average molecular mass of the amino acid to be 110 Daltons. Then what is the theoretical molecular mass of the polypeptide chain translated from the above nucleotide sequence in Daltons? Is so basically you need to look at the canonical initiation. So initiating codon is methionine, so initiation is through methionine, and the codon that codes for methionine is AUG. So here, as you can see, it starts here, AUG, and from here every three bases of the mRNA will code for one amino acid. So this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2. So like that, if you count till the stop codon. So what are the stop codons? UAA or UGA or UAG. So these are the canonical stop codons, and when you encounter these, you need to stop translation. So as you can go here and then until you reach here, because this UAG is a stop codon. So this will lead to 14 triplets if you count like in triplets, like 1, 2, 3, again 4, like this. If you count in triplets, like 5, until this particular base pair, this particular not base pair, this particular base, you will end up with 14 triplets. And since each triplet is an amino acid, and since each amino acid codes for one, since each amino acid has a molecular mass of 110 Daltons, you need to multiply 14 into 110, so that gives you 1540 Dalton. So the correct answer here is 1540. This is a very simple question if you know basic molecular biology. Okay, moving on to the next question. So the pKa of a buffer solution with pH of 5 consisting of 0.4 molar sodium acetate and 0.04 molar acetic acid is what? This is a very simple Henderson-Hasselbalch equation. So pH is equal to pKa plus log of salt concentration by acid concentration. So here we need to find pKa. pH is equal to 5. We need to find pKa plus log of what is the salt concentration, which is 0.4, divided by acid concentration, which is 0.04. So this will be pKa plus log 10. Log 10 is 1, so which is pKa plus 1. Therefore, pKa is equal to 5 minus 1, which is 4. So the correct answer here is 4. Very simple, basic 11th standard chemistry question. Moving on to the next question, the last question. Yes. So consider a healthy person with the following lung volumes. So as you can see, they have given the following volumes. So the residual volume, which is 900 ml, the expiratory reserve volume, which is 800 ml, and the tidal volume is 200 ml. If the total lung capacity is going to be 5,500 ml, then the inspiratory reserve volume of the person is what ml. So basically, the inspiratory reserve volume is calculated from the formula, that is, total lung volume is equal to residual volume, which is RV. This is residual volume, RV, plus expiratory reserve volume, which is ERV, plus inspiratory reserve volume, which is IRV, plus tidal volume, which is TV. So we know total lung capacity is equal to 5,500, that is given, which is equal to residual volume, which is 900, plus expiratory reserve volume, which is already given, 800, plus IRV that we need to find, which is inspiratory reserve volume, plus the tidal volume, which is equal to 200. So this IRV, if you can subtract 5,500 from 5,500, 900 minus 800 minus 200, you get the answer to be 3,600. So this is basic thing. This is basic biology. I think this was also covered in 11th standard biology textbook of CBSE. So this is the basic formula to calculate inspiratory reserve volume if all the other lung volumes are given. So the correct answer here is 3,600 ml. So with this, I'm completing discussing the answer key for the zoology section of GATE Excel 2024 paper. I hope you found this video really interesting and useful, and feel free to write in the comment section, and we are there to help you out, and hope you enjoyed. Have a nice day. Bye.